Hello, my soccer universe. What a Champions League draw. Beautiful if you're a Milan fan, if you're an Italian fan. But I guess in order to really appreciate what's happening, we need to go to it pairing by pairing, how it all happened. And I actually would like to start out. I mean, here, these were the chances ahead of the draw of winning, which also give us kind of a ranking of how to gauge these teams. City, the favorites, ahead of Bayern and Madrid, Napoli, Chelsea, Inter, Benfica, Milan. And let's head into this draw. So it was an open draw, so anyone could play anyone in there, and having three Italian teams in there, there's always a high chance that there's one Italian matchup, which is exactly what we ended up getting. However, first out of the bag, figuratively speaking, was Real Madrid and Chelsea. A replay from the quarterfinal from last year. However, this time it's turned around. Last time it was that Real Madrid first had to go to Chelsea, then play at home. This time Real Madrid first have the home advantage, which I think is an interesting draw, for the simple reason that Real Madrid made the magic last year by having all the return legs at home. This time they have to go away. Will this turn it around? Question. It's already the first big name matchup also. I also wonder if this Chelsea team that has not much to play for can now focus solely on the Champions League. So many questions to be asked. The second pairing that was drawn is Benfica against Inter, and my initial gut reaction was, Inter, you lucky bastards. On the other side, I am very happy for Benfica, because I think Benfica, who is stronger than Porto, and Inter just made it past Porto, will give Inter a true run for their money. I also think this opens up the opportunity for Benfica to reach a semi-final for the first time in a long time, which I think is also quite exciting for such a storied side than Benfica are. Of course, I think if we saw before how the teams were rated, Benfica were just in seventh spot, just around Inter's rating. So this is relatively even, but it's also a kind of a smallish matchup in a way of two unfancy teams, which means we will have definitely one outsider in the semi-final, which in a way is also exciting. Then Manchester City were drawn against Bayern Munich. Boom! And at that point, I have to say, I thought, Milan definitely gonna get a banger. Definitely gonna get one of the four favorites, and I wanted Napoli at this point. Boom, Napoli got, because Manchester City have to play Bayern. And I really was hoping for that. And funnily enough, I mean, after yesterday's video, I exchanged the jerseys from teams that got eliminated with the jerseys of teams that are still in there. And the way I hung it, I had Manchester City against Benfica. I also had Manchester City against Bayern. I also had Milan against Napoli. About the on the other two I had wrong. So kind of a little bit premonition there. Manchester City against Bayern. Those are the two best teams left standing, easily. It's also Guardiola facing a former team of his, which is never something that he excels at. And it's also something where I really want to see Bayern, after eliminating PSG, the one super team, although they're not quite so super now, they have to eliminate a true team. Has a little bit of a Real Madrid from last year, where they also had to run through a whole lot of big teams. I think this is definitely, from a footballing point of view, squad building, this is the most intriguing tie. It's a real banger. And then Milan against Napoli. Maybe not the opponent that I absolutely wanted to have, but on the other side, I think I'm not so unhappy, because Milan have not been doing so badly against Napoli. Yes, at home they usually lost, but in Naples they usually won. We also get a preview of that right after the international break, and then they have to play already again, which I find is really cool and weird, but there will be quite some familiarity between those two teams. Napoli, they've 100% the clear favorites here. Milan have nothing to lose, honestly. On the other side, it's a very familiar opponent with a very familiar coach. And I have to say, I like my chances here. I like Milan's chances in this tie. Yes, you have to play first at home, which might be a disadvantage, but I honestly think if there's one team that is not really phased by the atmosphere in Naples, it is probably Milan. And that is something, I like it. Literally playing in Naples has been actually quite good for Milan ever since, at least since Zlatan came back, because usually Milan have won there. So I actually don't dislike that draw. I really, really, really don't. However, the cherry up top is now the way that the quarterfinal bracket was set. Because, if it was set like this, then the winner of Napoli-Milan play Manchester City against Bayern, which of course was not the case. It is twisted around in such a way that we literally have 3 of the top 4 teams in the upper draw. Actually, the 3 favorites. We have City, Bayern have to play the winner of Madrid against Chelsea. Meaning we have all the 3 Italians on the bottom, which actually increases the chance of an Italian team in the final for the first time since Juve in 2017 significantly, which I think is also exciting. Now, I honestly think a Napoli, if I take now my Milan head out of this, if I take as a neutral, Napoli against Benfica would be a more than worthy and would be an exhilarating semi-final. However, there's the intrigue of a Milan derby semi-final in there. There is the intrigue in there that Milan, who are among the 4 teams below, definitely the most storied one. On the top, the most storied one we know is Real Madrid, and I wouldn't put it beyond them, but they have to play every leg at home. They are now the home team. In the last draw, they were on the bottom. They were always the away team. So they're now the home team, which might speak against them. However, I think Milan are the most storied team there. I don't think it's beyond them to play to win against Napoli, and then I don't know what can against Benfica and Inter anything could happen. I still think that Milan. I don't want to sound too optimistic. I still think that Milan are the weakest side in this entire draw. From what I've seen from Milan so far, there needs to be some luck happening, some change happening, like it was last season when at the end of the year Milan just clicked into the next gear, because before that they were stumbling. It's a similar story at this moment. But if Milan kicks into this next gear, this draw is tailor-made for a run into the final. Because I don't think you have to fear anyone else in there. Yes, again, Napoli, the big favorites in that one. Benfica against Napoli would be a wonderful semi-final, and I think up top, whether it's Real Madrid against City or Real Madrid against Bayern, I personally would prefer Real Madrid against Bayern if you ask me, or go for an English semi-final. But I think Real Madrid against Bayern, I think would have definitely more intrigue and also would have the weight of history. That would be my preferred outcome here. Now, of course, we want to check who are the winners and the losers of the draw. And, before I show you any numbers, it is pretty clear that everyone in the lower half of the draw are winners. Actually, Napoli is the biggest winner there, ahead of Inter. Milan, I think, are third, and Benfica are fourth. And the big loser is Chelsea. And we see as much. We see also within the favorites here, City's chances have been slashed by 3%. Napoli's have improved. They're almost now at City's level. We see Napoli 62% favorite over Milan, which is the biggest advantage over an opponent. City, of course, slightly ahead of Bayern, who drop a point. Benfica now in fourth, ahead of Real Madrid again because of the favorable draw. Both Milan clubs have their chances slightly improved, and Chelsea, wherever they go, they will be the outsiders. But that might also be dangerous. So yeah, we may be set up for a Chelsea-Milan final, which we had in the group stage, and it didn't go well for Milan. Revenge in Istanbul, but Milan and Istanbul, that's a whole different story. So those are my thoughts on the draw. I actually have to say, as a Milan fan, I really, really like it. As a football fan, I'm not so sure this was the right thing to do. Let's put it that way. However, if I think about the neutral semifinals between Real Madrid and Bayern and between Napoli and Benfica, that could be interesting. And that Milan's chances of reaching a final have actually improved. I also like that one. But I think anyone in this lower half would have the same thoughts. Any case, let me know your thoughts, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye! Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, here are some videos and playlists that you might enjoy too. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the little bell icon so to get notified whenever something happens in my soccer universe. And with that, have a wonderful day. Bye!